great to see you. We are joined as always by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Blue Jacket Brewery down by Nats Park. And then in Penn Quarter, you've got the Partisan and Red Apron. And there are two other Red Aprons, one down in Merrifield. B-side is right next to it. And then there's a Red Apron, the first one in Union Market. That's right. Correct. Greg, it is always nice to see you.
Too.
What do we have on tap this week?
Well, this week I brought an amazing offering from our friends at Firestone Walker in Paso Robles, Central Coast, California. And it's from their Barrel Work series. I mean, I think we all associate Firestone Walker first with hop-forward beers, kind of clean barrel-aged beers, but their sour program, as shown through the Barrel Works project, has really come on strong over the past few years, and this is one of my favorite offerings from that program. It's called Creaky Bones, a 5.7% Flanders-style red ale aged in a giant French oak foeders, 2,200-gallon French oak foeders, wow. For 24 months, 12 to 24 months, blended and then finished with Montmorency sour cherries.
Sort of refreshes your nose.
And it is a refreshing beer.
Oh, that's real nice. Just the right balance, you know. Not too tart or sour for people who don't, if people don't like that style.
Absolutely no
like that.
Acetic qualities. No, we don't like vinegary notes. This is really clean and lactic and acidic. Great cherry flavor without being overly fruited. The oak character from the foeders is nicely integrated. Got great dry tannins. Really, really delicious stuff.
Sort of a lemon heads finish, but not that tart.
Yeah, right, but it is
candy.
Yeah, no, and that's,
haven't had one of those in a while.
And now with these kind of beers, we don't need to.
Nope.
But interesting you mentioned that. One of the things I really wanted to talk about is Firestone Walker is ahead of their time in many ways, and one is the amount of information and the kinds of information they're placing on their labels now. So in addition to things like the batch number, this is only the third batch they've ever made for this. The first batch they did was for David Walker, one of the founders' 50th birthday. He wanted a Creek-style beer, one made with cherries, and he got it. This is the third batch. It was released in September of 16, which is cool. Only 2,600 cases, which is very cool. But down here it tells you what's in the beer and everything else. And then it tells you something, titratable acidity, which some people might not know about and I wanted to talk about. And in this, it's 10.1 grams per liter. So for the longest time, we've kind of measured acidity in beer and wine by pH, because that's very easy. You know, lower than 7, it's acidic, higher than 7, it's basic. But pH, turns out, doesn't really tell you a lot about the intensity of acidity. It just tells you about the amount of acid that's in it. But since there's so many different kinds of acids offering different intensities, pH gives you a general idea. What titratable acidity does is really measure the intensity of the acidity or sourness. And in this case, at 10.1, it's pretty sour. I mean, there's plenty of beers that are more acidic than this, but for comparison, white wine is anywhere kind of between 6 and 7 or so TA, whereas red wine can be anywhere from like 7 to 9. So it's just a cool thing to think about, and hopefully more breweries will start listing this so you can get an understanding of what kind of acidity you like and find that in your beers.
So TA then is more accurate on the palate than pH.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, pH is great for knowing many other things about brewing, and during the brewing process is very important to know. But I could show you 8 different beers that are 3.2 pH, and depending on the different kinds of acids in them, one could be incredibly sour and have a higher TA, and one could be very subtly tart and have a low TA.
What would you pair this with?
So the amazing kind of red winey characteristics lend it to duck, lamb, and steak, of course, even a pork tenderloin that's herbed. Great with green salads, things that have nuts in it, goat cheese, fantastic like vinaigrette. I find that it's amazing with tomatoes, because the acid and the cherry flavor, and we are in tomato season, so an heirloom salad, bruschetta, tomato basil is going to be, all those things are going to be outstanding. And then even for dessert, like a really simple fruit cobbler, this would be beautiful with that.
Off the wall question, maybe fried green tomatoes, or are those different? That would be fine.
Great, yeah.
Okay, just
because I think it would dig
all
into
around.
Yeah, and the fry, this acidic quality would dig into that richness and really brighten it up. Yeah.
He still won't give me a job in the kitchen, but I try to learn. Greg, thank you as always.
Thanks.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.